Molo Sanbonani, hello, how's it? Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Friday, yes! Welcome to it. This is another episode of Vuka Nazo here on the Big Daddy Liberty Show. My name is Sihle Ngobese, aka Big Daddy Liberty. Remember, if you want to get in touch with us here on the show, find us on our website at www.bigdaddyliberty.com. There, of course, you can also pledge some support towards the show. Please, guys, we are wholly indebted to you. Become a contributor to the show with 100 Rand a month. It's all it takes. Buy me a burger meal per month, and it's more than it takes. And no, it's not going to burgers, relax. It pays for the editors and some of the journalists that we're beginning to talk to insofar as asking them to put together stories exclusively for us. But with that being said, thank you for being a contributor if you already are. And remember, all of our details insofar as social media are in the descriptor of this video. With that being said, how about we get straight into the news? Ho ho! It's all fun and games until you realize you live in a failed state and this happens.
And we therefore need to redefine the way, I'm sorry. Okay, I was being given lessons on how to deal with load shedding. And I must say, I am sorry about that.
Yep, that's right. The president of a country. Can you imagine? The president of what used to be a middle-income, industrialized, functional country having to literally find himself in a situation where mid-speech, the power goes off. And what does he offer as a platitude, if you will? A sort of measly, meager, oh, I'm sorry. That's what happens when you trust lefties and the sort of politicians who do not value faith, flag, family, and country. That is what happens when you do not support in place leadership in a country that does not put you, the citizen, first, your infrastructure, your shared spaces, your country first, in a sense. You have a situation where it becomes the norm and acceptable for effectively power to go out like that. Oh, and it doesn't end over there. It gets even better. This happened during the trial, or rather the passing down of the verdict in the Julius Malema case where he assaulted allegedly a police officer. Guess what happened there?
When assessing the discrepancies in its context, I cannot.
Yep, in the middle of a court proceeding, that load shedding also happens. Now, in both these instances, rather, it has been the state and politicians who bear the brunt of it, rare as it is for them to bear the brunt, because they can always afford the best, but it's effectively been the state. But what has it been and what has it meant for you? What has load shedding meant for you? Where's your business right now if you are a small business individual? Where's your business if you work in a big corporate and maybe are now facing downtime or shorter hours or even retrenchment simply because your firm cannot keep up with the clown world situation that is a failed state in this country? You always can see that your country is a failed state when you look at effectively the state, number one, of the governance in your country, and number two, the very morale of the people in your society. And what is it that we're talking about here? Well, you're no stranger to it. Load shedding, where Eskom itself now announced this. Yep, that Eskom has basically announced that stage 4 load shedding is now going to be in place as a permanent feature of South African society. Ladies and gentlemen, you live in a failed state. The sooner you come to that reckoning, the sooner you accept that, the sooner you are able to prepare. Because for where things are going, the collapse of the state, state-owned enterprises, and the engorging of themselves, even as things fall apart, the engorging of themselves, of politicians at our expense, is not going to save us from what's really coming down the line, which is economic collapse. If you're watching what is happening around the world right now, you will know that you need to start preparing. Hier kom groot, as the Afrikaners say. Ho! Big drama in the city of Johannesburg in what was meant to be the election of a new Johannesburg Council speaker, the DA expecting to win. This is how it started.
I expect today is going to be a beautiful election of a Speaker of Council from the multi-party government. I'm not going to tell you who it is. Watch this space, but we're going to have a good speaker.
No, but here's how it's going.
I am truly humbled. I'm truly grateful. I thank these women that are standing next to me. I thank this leader standing next to me. These are the minority parties that held hands and said, unless we all win, it's not a win in the city of Johannesburg. Today we have shown that the minority parties have a voice and we've got a big role to play in the city of Johannesburg. So I'm really grateful, I'm very happy, and I thank also the other parties that have supported us, the ANC, the EFF, all the big parties, all the councillors that have voted.
Oh! Colleen Makhubele sticking the knife in from the back and saying, ha ha! Got him! Yo, I told you this would happen. I told you this would happen insofar as coalition politics do not bode well, insofar as the messy nature of them and indeed the self-interested nature of smaller political parties. We had this conversation in a previous episode of Vuka Nazo. I'll put that thumbnail over here so you can go back and watch it. But I told you that this is a possibility insofar as coalition partners right now who are in bed with the DA are incredibly unhappy with the DA. And for as much as there's been a lot of give and take, give, for example, being the DA clinching the Nelson Mandela Bay metro area rather, that's Port Elizabeth. The take, of course, has been and looks like it will be the city of Johannesburg, where not only has the DA lost this particular vote for a new speaker, not only has it lost that vote, and it lost it last time, that is Vasco da Gama. Dun, 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 dun. That dude was voted out last time by a margin of 4 votes, if I'm not mistaken. This time, Colleen Makhubele was voted in with a margin of 14 votes. So that tells you everything you need to know around the supposed coalition partners of the ANC. They clearly, of the DA, they clearly ditched the DA and voted for this rogue councillor, Colleen Makhubele, who literally has spoken into reality her vision of being the speaker of this party. I asked you the question last time. Where is the discipline? Where is the organization of these smaller parties? Why are they not able to rein in their rogue councillors, in this instance, COPE? Why has it not reined in a one Colleen Makhubele, who already, all the way back during the ousting of Vasco da Gama, had indicated that she clearly has her bread buttered by the ANC and EFF alliance. Good luck to the DA and its coalition partners who are effectively navigating this issue. But I say good luck because it clearly appears right now that there are ructions within these coalition partnerships, with Action SA blaming the DA for all of this. Indeed, Ewan Bongani Baloyi, you'll remember he used to be the mayor of the Midvaal municipality, effectively placing the blame for what happened in the Johannesburg Council at the feet of the DA's Solly Msimanga. In a tweet, of course, he basically suggested that all of this ruction, all of this breakup is the DA's fault. Herman Mashaba indeed piling on himself, blaming the DA's arrogance. So that this is what I keep saying about these coalitions. Instead of them all getting together, getting their act together and actually working for you, the city of Johannesburg resident or wherever the coalition governed, they would rather duke it out amongst each other. They would rather fight it out amongst each other, thinking that that'll somehow gain them more support versus the other. These people have no intention in real terms of taking on that ANC and EFF coalition. And trust you me, the ANC can see that. This is why it is driving a wedge between these coalition partners. And here's the truth. These ANC and EFF guys are not only driving that wedge in between the DA's coalition partners, but the DA and his coalition partners like Action SA and the like are making it very easy for them to do exactly that. This, dear voter, especially if you pinned your hopes on a coalition government, does not bode well for you and me. All right, folks, we end this episode of Vuka Nazo. This is the Friday edition here. Oh, that's right. Before I forget, as is now the new custom on the show, every Friday we'll have a Mummish of the week. That individual who made the biggest blunder, or himself or herself is the biggest blunder of the week. Now, today on this, the Friday edition, who is the Mummish of the week? Jacob Zuma. Yes, that's right. That chap is our Mummish of the week. And why, you're asking? Well, here's the same chap who got dribbled by his own party members in KZN, or rather the ANC in KZN, after they went to Nkandla to seek his advice and schmoozed with him, even ate his food, ate his food and partied with the old boy, if giving him false assurance. That same party then turned around and said, actually, who we want as a region is Stanley Matabata as a preferred candidate for the ANC for chairperson, and that's who they'll put forward in the national elective conference in December. Womp, womp. That, of course, makes Jacob Zuma, dribbled by his own party members, Mummish of the week. Now, with that being said, thanks for watching, folks. We super appreciate it as always. If you want to get in touch with us here at Vuka Nazo, find us on our website. That's www.bigdaddyliberty.com. And of course, all our information as to how you can get a hold of us is in the descriptor of this video. That's our social media links. And of course, remember, it's super easy. If you want to find previous episodes of the show, you can find them, of course, on Facebook or on YouTube. Hey, do me a favor. Whilst you're on the YouTube page, subscribe to the page and hit that bell notification so that every weekday, Monday to Friday, from 7 a.m., you're notified when Vuka Nazo is on your screen. Shabbat Shalom. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday.